If you're a business owner, either employing an accountant or a CFO, are you getting your money's worth, or are you overpaying for a team member who isn't fulfilling the role? I got asked a question recently and it got me thinking, how would you define the difference between an accountant and a CFO? What led to this question is I, for want of a better phrase, self-identify as an accountant. I am ultimately an accountant. That is my trade, that is my background, that is where all my professional learning comes from. You don't just go, oh, day one, I'm now a CFO. It's like, no, day one, you're an accountant, and then potentially at some point in the future, you elevate or graduate to a CFO. But what exactly is the difference between an accountant and a CFO? Now, I'm sure you could throw something into ChatGPT, and I'm sure there'll be a ChatGPT version of me before we know it. But for the purposes of this video, I wanted to give you what I simply use as my reference point, and we even use it as a reference point for our team as we train them and elevate them in their roles and responsibilities at CFO Dynamics. What do I define an accountant as? I define an accountant as somebody who keeps an accurate score of the game we play, and that game we play is of business. Accuracy comes down to an accurate balance sheet, an accurate profit and loss, and then to take that one step further, make sure that it's done in a timely fashion. If we're looking at June reports, we're looking at June reports in the middle to late parts of July at the very worst. We're not looking at June reports in the middle of August, in early September, nothing like that. So for an accountant, it's to make sure that the scoreboard is accurate. Balance sheet says what we own, what we owe, and the difference between those numbers is correct. And our profitability reflects what we earned in income, less our expenses, gives us our true profitability or financial performance for a period of time. That is what an accountant does. The first step in being a CFO is to be a good accountant. You have to be able to keep score accurately and get it done in a timely fashion. So what's the bridge between accountant and CFO? Without me going into a long-winded description from like a university course as to what the difference between an accountant and CFO is, I'm just gonna give you what my opinion is. My opinion, the difference between an accountant and a CFO is two elements. Firstly, they can tell you what the score means, what the balance sheet and what the profit and loss is showing us. What does that actually mean? What are the levers? What is the inferred things that occur? So if this happens over here, what happens over there? What are the movements that are going to occur and how can we influence that? Which leads to the second step. Is what's the strategy? Can they engage with other areas of the team? Can they communicate the message to the team? Tell them what do they need to be doing more of, what do they need to be doing less of to enhance financial performance or reduce the risk that a business is currently experiencing. It's as simple as that. A CFO can take that scorecard and interpret that scorecard, understand the things you can influence, and then communicate to your team, whether it's your management, your leadership team, what you need to do about that. And then have collaborative conversations with them. Not just sit over there on an island and go, hey, I keep score and you guys run the business. No, we keep score and then we help you run the business. The same way a sales team helps run a business, the same way a marketing team or an operations team helps run a business. This, I think, is a really important point for business owners when you employ an accountant or a CFO, is in your mind, is he or she filling those gaps that I'm just explaining there? Do they just keep score? Do they just do spreadsheets? Or do they really engage with the team, trying to influence the team, take it one step further and show them where we're winning, where we're losing, what it means, what we need to do? That in my mind is the difference between a CFO and an accountant. A CFO is an excellent communicator in every way, shape or form, communicating what numbers mean, how they apply to your business, but as my favorite word goes, how to influence the outcome in a positive way.